Hi foodies, welcome to our Facebook Live video about our chicken pot pie chowder. So we're going to vote on the page. You guys voted between chicken pot pie chowder and lazy lasagna soup. So I'm really excited that you guys did that. So help us decide what we're having for dinner tonight. So I'll tell you where these recipes both come from. The lazy lasagna soup was from a recipe card collection we had a couple years ago called Soup, Stews, and Chilies. So it was just a recipe that was in there. I totally didn't even know that it existed until a friend brought it over to one of our Pampered Chef meetings, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what is this goodness? And she's like, you've never seen the lazy lasagna soup recipe? And I was like, no. So that's where that came from, which I do have it typed up. It's on the team page. You'll see a picture of like my bowl that looks just like this, and you'll see it down there. Now, the chicken pot pie recipe comes from our current Season's Best recipe, and it's just one of the rock crock recipes, because the new Season's Best is all based on one dish or one pot meals. So this is from the rock crock collection, and so this is what we are making tonight. So my assistant is here to help me with my ingredient list, so that she can read along with me as I'm going through the steps with you guys. This will be longer than like a normal like quick hey video, because I want to show you the steps as we go along. So sit back, relax, maybe grab a beverage, and we're going to go through the steps with you. Alright, so Mia, you're going to hold this right now. I'm going to get my vegetables prepped, and I'm going to angle them down so they can see it a little bit better. I don't want to drop my iPad. Okay, so we have onion and garlic. Of course, we're going to start with that. So with my onion, I am going to use my manual food processor for this. I call him Manuel, jokingly, my boyfriend, because he does one heck of a salsa. So we just have a yellow onion here that we're going to use. And usually when I do this with an onion, I take off the top and the bottom. Some people like to leave the root part intact. I'm using the whole onion, so I'm going to go ahead and take that off. And then I usually take off on the outside layer. So I went ahead and peeled the paper off this before you guys got here, but I do have a section that I don't want to use. So usually what I do is I just kind of slit it right there, and then I peel this outside layer off. And I have a little trash bowl right here where I'm going to put my stuff. All right, so we get rid of that. I'm going to chunk it into quarters. I'm going to put it in my manual food processor. This is one of the ways that I hide veggies from them and from me, because I don't really like chunky stuff. Like, I don't really like chunky tomatoes and stuff, so even like a can of diced tomatoes I'll put in here and process further. Alright, Mia, will you check to see if anybody's had any questions, because that's the one thing, is I can't see the questions as much when I'm on here. Alright, so I'm going to process while you look.
Jim Foreman, my dad, says best assistant ever.
Yes.
Yeah. No questions.
Okay.
We're
questions. All right, so Mia's going to be our question looker-upper. All right, so here's the onion for the start there. I know there's a couple big chunks in there still, but I wanted to give you guys an idea of just a couple quick processes with the food processor and what that does. So we're going to keep going.
Casey, we are making the chicken pot pie chowder.
Yes. This is the chicken pot pie chowder. We went over that right at the very beginning. Alright, how are we doing? Alright, so this looks really good. I love that the blade can come out of the manual food processor and there's no hole in the bottom of the bowl for everything to drip. So there are the onions, good to go. If you've ever been to my dad's, this is what the onions look like when you get a hot dog all the way. So it just, the smell is very reminiscent of that. So anyway, the onion is sliced and diced. Now, say I had made a salsa, this comes with a lid and I could put this in the refrigerator. I could have done a bunch of prep earlier today and put stuff in the fridge, but I'm just waiting to let you guys see the onion. All right, next up is garlic. Now, about 1 million years ago, when I first became a consultant, the recruiter, the lady who was my recruiter, taught us a quick trick on how to do garlic. So one is by smell. If it doesn't smell like anything or smells kind of earthy, it's good. If it smells like garlic, it's past its prime. The other thing she taught us is by sight. You want your garlic white, tight, and snug like your men's undies. All right, so next time you're in the grocery store, you're going to giggle, and you're going to think white, tight, and snug with your garlic here. Okay, so we need, how many cloves?
We need 2.
All right, and do I put that in after I do the onion, or can I put it in with the onion?
Until the onions are softened.
And then I'm going to do my garlic? Okay. So another trick that I saw just recently from another consultant friend of mine up in, he's in Illinois, is he said, you know, we're used to just taking our garlic and we put it right in the, oh, I just threw that one. Can you get that one? The cat's trying to play with the garlic now. Just toss it in the trash. I'll get a new one. So even though none of y'all are eating it, but I've had like 4,000 kids in here today and that many animals too, so we're just going to pass. All right, so I'm going to take my garlic clove off. And remember, this is a bulb. Each one of these babies is a clove. All right, so don't do the mistake I made at my very first show, or not my first show, the first time I ever made a recipe before I was a consultant, and tried to use 2 bulbs because I thought this was 2 cloves. All right, so what the tip was to take your garlic and to actually cut it in half. And then when you put it in the press, put the open side down, and that will get you the most out of your garlic. So let's see if you guys can kind of see that when I do it on the mat. Let me get rid of some of this so they can see it. All right, so when I press it, I'm going to get the most of it out of there. And actually, my garlic tool is probably in my Paper Chef kit. So I'm just going to use the butt of my knife. All right, and get all the garlic out. Then when I open it up, I've squeezed a lot of it out. All right, so I need my tool to get this out. All right, so we'll just put that there. And then, oh, here's the other half. All right, so we're going to put that in, squeeze that out. I would normally just squeeze this right into the pot, but I wanted you guys to see how much garlic we got from pressing his little brains out. All right, and then this one's actually kind of small, but I'm still going to follow the tip and cut this right like that. Okay, so squeeze. All right, so that was 2 cloves, right, Mia? 2 cloves of garlic?
Yeah.
1 medium onion, 2 cloves of garlic. All right, so what we're going to do is, will you turn the burner on that the rock crock is on, and I'm going to come over there and pour the oil in. All right, so there is all of our garlic so that we are ready to go. Now I'm going to smell all garlicky. So the quick tip is, if you are like me and once you touch garlic, you smell like it, you can rub your hands on this, it's stainless steel, underneath the sink, the cold water, and it will take the smell out. Same thing with like fish or anything that's kind of gross. Onion sometimes does that too. So I'm going to wash my hands real quick. Mia, you can entertain them with your faces.
Did you guys enjoy the smell? Kind of.
All right, so we're going to do medium burner.
This is one of my favorite recipes. It's very yummy.
Okay, so we're going to bring the tripod over so that they can see what I'm doing over here. So again, we're pampered, not perfect, so hopefully we'll get this set up nicely for you guys to see. All right, so I've got my rock crock on here. This is the Dutch oven rock crock, so it's a 4-quart capacity. So it called for 2 tablespoons of canola oil, so I'm going to add that. And then I'm going to add our onion that's sitting over here in our manual food processor, and just add all of our onion in there.
3 to 5 minutes.
All right, so it said 3 to 5. All right, so we'll get that all in there, kind of cooking down in the oil, and we'll let that sit. All right, so we'll toss these in our sink. All right, so in the meantime, right before we went live, I took a picture of what I was getting ready to do, or I went live and told you guys I was doing something. So let me grab it out of the oven so you can see what I did to prep this, so that you can learn a trick or two. All right, so let me grab it. All right, tall people, we put our oven mitts up. So everybody always looks for oven mitts when they come to my house. I'm like, oh, they're up. All right, so let me open up the oven. All right, and this is hot. So even though this is a one-pot meal, I could have cooked my chicken in my rock crock leading up to this, but I really wanted to just not have to really watch it, so that's why I put it in the microwave, in the oven like this. Let me back this up just a little bit, so maybe that you guys can see a little bit better. Alright, so in here is just chicken breasts that I cleaned up with my shears. I actually thirded them, if that's a term. And then I put salt and pepper on them, and then I put water in here. This is a trick that my mom always did, and she still does it. So like whenever I go to her house and I walk in, it's like this smell reminds me of her. So when she used to watch my kids during the day when they were little and I worked during the day, we bartered for this pot because she was loving this pot, and she's always got chicken or something going in it. So oh, Kim said that she loved your dancing. So with this, now this is why I'm keeping this mitt on, because I have accidentally touched this or this after it's been out of the oven, and so I don't want to burn myself on camera. I know I'm pampered, but not perfect. All right, so just leave that for now. Okay, so I'm gonna let this steam out. All right, so this 350, 20 minutes, that's like my go-to time for everything in the oven. All right, so let me set this over here. All right, so my chicken, so that I can show you guys. This is like a chicken bath, is what I guess a term would be called, because it's bathing in water. It's baking in there. There may be like an official term. I would love if somebody actually knew that official term to tell me, because I thought there was an official term for this. All right, so you can see the salt and pepper. This is also the way my mom would do it when she makes chicken salad, and her chicken salad is the best. And this is one of the tricks, is it stays nice and moist. Now, a lot of times she buys the chicken still on the bone, and that's even better than just the breast. But I just found the breast on sale. This is what I'm using. I put half of it in the freezer. This is the other half. Okay, so because this is really hot, I'm gonna keep one of my mitts on so I don't accidentally touch this. So what I'm gonna do is, while the onion is getting ready, it's starting to sizzle over there, is I'm gonna grab our chicken with our tongs. I might have to like switch hands here, and put it in our batter bowl, and then we're gonna use our salad choppers. Give me a raised hand emoji or some kind of something fun if you have salad choppers at your house. Let's see how many people have salad choppers. All right, and poaching is a good word. Maybe I'll look that up and see if that's what it is. I tried to look for it, but I cannot remember. All right, so there is our chicken bath is finished. And then I'm just gonna take my salad choppers, and if you notice, I'm holding them backwards so that I can get a better grip on them. I like the way they feel better in my hand like this. All right, so how many salad choppers we got out there? Let me see some hearts. Hit that heart emoji. Hit that thumbs up emoji. Let me see it. I want y'all to blind my screen with it so I can see it. Oh gosh, this is so super easy. It's super moist. Smells delicious. This is why I had to take the animals and make sure they were outside or upstairs, because they will smell this and be like, oh, dinner. All right, so there is our beautiful chopped chicken that has been in the oven. Okay. All right, so I've got my onions going, and they need a little bit of time there to get warm. All right, so while we're doing that, I wanted to make sure of everything else for the recipe. So my recipe helper, here, come on screen. You can come over here and let's look and see what else we need.
So we need 1/4 cup of flour.
That's gonna go in there when we're done.
2 cups of reduced sodium chicken stock.
All right, so I'll get the chicken stock and the milk. I think those are the two things, plus the salt and pepper, that's going to go in the rock crock after we get there. Okay, so I'll get that. You look to see if there's any questions.
Any questions?
We good?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let me grab one of these cups so they can see.
Miss Warwick, I'm so excited for school to come back because I'm really bored. So.
All right, we are going to be using our Easy Read measuring cups. These come in a set of 3. This is a 1-cupper. I've got the 2 and 4 cups behind me filled up. So we've got, watch out, move. Milk and stock ready to go, all right? So this is measured and ready. And our onion is cooking down.
Don't forget the garlic.
I won't. So I'm going to let the onion cook for like another minute. So this is a really yummy meal. So in the meantime, I'm going to hit my bake. I'm going to hit my 350 and start. We're going to get out a stone and we're going to do our biscuits. Okay, so the recipe originally calls for you to put the biscuits on the chowder in the oven. However, I don't feel like doing that. So last time I made it, I decided I'm just going to bake my biscuits separate, and then that way when there are a few biscuits left, they're not sitting in the juices and getting soggy, and then like somebody actually ate them for breakfast the next day, and when I went to go have leftover chicken chowder or chicken pot pie chowder, there was no biscuit. So I'm going to hide myself a biscuit for the leftovers, and then if there's another biscuit or two left over, somebody can eat that in the morning if they'd like. So we're going to break out our stone, and we're going to get our biscuits. So we grab the biscuits from the refrigerator. I'll let you pop them and get them ready. All right, so our onion is getting pretty cooked and reduced, I guess is the correct terminology here. Did you see the biscuits? Yeah, not the cinnamon rolls. We want grand biscuits. I'm still afraid I'm going to touch this, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to rotate this around.
Okay.
And then I'm going to put my pot holder on that so I don't touch that. All right, go ahead and pop them and put them on that stone. Do you remember how I did it last time?
I think so.
They were kind of close but not touching?
Yes.
All right. All right, so I think our onion is good. Can you guys see that? Let me bring you over. All right, so there's our onion. It's been cooking in the oil for a few, just getting down. They're not completely clear, but they're getting pretty close. Okay, so now I'm going to start with adding my other stuff. Hang on. I have to open it. There you go. Mia was over there banging the biscuits, still in their protective like thing that you have to peel off. Sorry. So, all right, so our onion is in here. I'm going to add the crushed garlic that I had on the mat here. All right, add some flavor there. Of course, if you want more garlic, go right on ahead and add some more garlic. There's no rule against that. If you want to put some more garlic in there. Oh, I can really smell that now. All right, so there's our onion and our garlic. The great start to any meal. Those are two great ingredients to start with. All right, smelling good. Let me look at the recipe. Can you hand me the season's best? So I can make sure I stay on target. Stay on target. What movie is that from, guys? Who knows that? All right, so add the onion and the... Oh, let's do the crushed garlic, both of them at the same time, stirring occasionally until the onions are soft. Sprinkle the flour over the vegetables and cook a minute. Okay, so here is our flour. 1/4 cup flour. Sprinkle. And I'm going to coat the onion with the garlic. Alright, so we're going to let that sit for a minute. Kind of gets the garlic absorbed in there. Let me bring you guys closer. Alright, so can you see that? Alright, so they're kind of getting like, they're kind of sticking together a little bit. They almost kind of look like a hash brown with the flour added to there. Alright, so starting our base here with our onion, our garlic, and our flour. Alright, so let me set this down again. Alright, and then, let's see, what are we going on here? Looks great. What dish are you making? Oh, Mary, everyone voted on the chicken pot pie chowder. So we had like, who saw the results? It was like 20 something to like, I don't know, maybe right at 20. I can't exactly remember. All right, so we got our flour in there. It's been about a minute. So we're gonna add our stock. All right, our stock. I'm reducing the heat ever so slightly. And then it says to simmer and scrape the bottom to release everything from any flour on the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to do that. Let that come up. It's got some tasty bits. And then, who remembers what those little tasty bits are called at the bottom? Fond. I think I heard Mia whisper it back here. All right, so we're going to also add salt and pepper. So it says a half and a fourth. Well, this is how we do that.
Eyeball it.
Yeah, we kind of eyeball that. Now, my family likes pepper. So, like, you know when they come around with the pepper grinder at the restaurant, they're like, tell me when? Yeah, we like pepper. So, that's why I'm not exactly measuring it, and you may want less at your house. But, there you go. All right, so we've got our pepper, our salt in there. This smells delicious. This is a great soup base right here. And we are going to bring that back up to a simmer. I'm going to let you guys look at that. It's kind of thickening up. So with that flour in there and then adding in our stock, it does start to kind of resemble a gravy. So those of you who are better cookers than I do, you probably know that. Or maybe you're like me and watch a lot of the cooking shows on TV because it looks good. And that's what it starts to look like. So it's starting to come to a simmer. It's got little teeny bubbles in there. And it really looks like a chicken gravy. All right, so I was gonna say, can you help me? Okay, here we go. All right, so next up it says we are going to add our milk, vegetables, and chicken. All right, so here is my 2 cups of milk measured out. All right, now I just bought a Steam Fresh bag of veggies. This is more than the recipe calls for, but we're okay with that. So my kids did not mind at all the veggies because they're covered in chicken gravy broth. And then I had a little bit of frozen, like leftover corn, so I'm just going to add that too, just so we can get rid of it. Okay? So there's our chicken. There's our base with our veggies. So you see that right there is pretty veggie-like. Now, I guess if you wanted to go meatless, you could use veggie stock instead of chicken stock, and you could probably leave it kind of like this and it will start to thicken up. But I'm going to go ahead and add in our salad chopped chicken. Remember, it was kind of poached-ish, boiled, whatever you want, chicken bath in the oven, and then we salad chopped it, and so now we're going to add this. Now, the first time I made this, I was kind of in a rush, so I went to the rotisserie area in the grocery store, and I just got a rotisserie chicken. And I picked all the pieces off, and we just threw it right in here. All right, so. All right, Mia, you got those biscuits ready so we can put them in the oven?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so let me stir this. Let me put these biscuits in. All right, Mia, you slide them in there. All right. All right, so we put the biscuits in. Let's set a timer because my ADD will kick in. I think it's, what, 12 minutes for biscuits? The blue piece of paper, or you probably threw it away. Yeah, we'll check them. All right, so our chicken, our veggies, our flour, our milk, our stock. And this recipe, I have copied it further down the page on the last time we made this recipe for my family. But it is also on my website. If you just put in, like, pot pie, it comes up on the search engine on pamperchef.biz/Tiffany M. Foreman. All right, so let's just double check. Make sure, because this is what I always do. I always double check. Okay, so pepper, milk, frozen veggies, chopped chicken. I decided to leave out the parsley just because the store was pretty sparse. And then the biscuits. So we're going to actually put the lid on this, let this simmer a little bit. We're going to let the biscuits cook, and then it's all going to come together, and it will look very similar to that. So last time we had about, let's see, this is a 3-cup prep bowl. It was maybe 2 cups of this was left over, and Jim was here. So I'm anticipating that we'll probably have, maybe we'll get 3 cups left over this time. Maybe we'll get 4 cups left over since I did put a little extra in there. But the kids have been swimming today. They're uber hungry. So we're just gonna let that simmer. So I hope you've enjoyed our live video. Definitely catch the replay. Like, just watch the video from the beginning if you want to see the beginning steps. And continue on with the questions down below, because I'll check it after we finally sit down and have dinner, and I come back onto my iPad and look around. Okay, so thank you for joining me. Thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Give me some hearts maybe, and thank you again, guys. All right, enjoy your Thursday night.
Bye.